Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rini, and of course this is the Enchanted Planner. Okay, in today's video we're covering 7 ways to decorate your planner pages without stickers. The theme for November in the Planner TNT challenge hosted by Di of Creative Karma Designs and myself is No Sticker November. So if you'd like to participate in the challenge, just do a spread with no stickers and tag us on Instagram, as well as use the hashtag planner TNT challenge, and I'll leave all of the information in the description. Okay, so I'm covering 7 topics. Di is covering 7 topics. I'll leave a link for her video in the description as well. But I'm covering pens and highlighters, doodles, stationery or sticky notes, stamps or inks, printables, and of course, colored pencils. Now, the irony to it all is there's a few of them I do not know why I chose because I do not draw. So we're going to start off with that one first. We're going to start off with what I'm putting in the category of doodles and printables, because I don't actually have a lot of examples of doodles because I can't draw. Like if you've ever seen me, it's just bad. Let's just go with that. So we're going to start off in here. So any of the blue sticky notes are doodles or printables. So this is a printable that I made this year, sorry, for Mardi Gras. And I believe I got these, where did I get these off of? Free Pick, I guess, is what I think where these came from, but I love them because purple's my favorite color, and purple and green just together are chef's kiss. So this was a very cute spread and an easy way to use printables. And as you all know, I love Canva. I use Canva for a lot. I do Canva tutorials for you all, so you can get a look at what you can do with Canva as well. So another example of doodles is this one. Now this is also a printable because again, I cannot draw. This was, I believe, a coloring sheet I think I actually found through Squared Plans. I got a sneaking suspicion this was part of a challenge she did for this week. Something to do with doodles, but it was doodles and printables. So we're just gonna go with that one. And then moving on to our next one. Again, these are doodles, but these are stickers. These came out of one of the mega packs. But if to me, these are doodles. And I mean, I guess if I practiced, I probably could draw all of this stuff because it's not super complicated, but I can't doodle. If you're interested in learning to do these little doodles and drawings, I highly recommend going and checking out Mary Ellen's channel, which is Planning with Bumble, because she has a whole series of Doodle of the Day that she used to do at the end of her videos. I'm not sure if she's done them in a separate playlist, but I do know that she used to do Doodle of the Day at the end of her videos, which was really rather cute, actually. All right, I think that is it for our examples of doodles or printables. Next up on the list is washi. Now I've done some things with washi, but not a lot that it's like really expansive. I don't get too crazy with washi, if you will, but where I have used it is in layering it like this to create a base, where I wanted to create sort of a mock skating rink. So I used some darker blue washi and then layered some grid washi on top of it. So that's one example. I don't think we have any blue ones in that one. No, or sorry, pink ones. I'm looking at the top of these planners for the right colored, the right colored sticky notes. Because when you have this many planners, it's a lot of fun to try and keep track of them all. Okay, in this example, I used thin washi, the skinny washi, to cover up all of the black lines in the planner to just create more cohesive color to match in with the bottom stickers. So this was another, idea that I came up with for using washi. And we have another one in here, but let's put back in my daily pages. I like to keep all of this stuff together because when I go back and look through them, I'm like, oh, look at that. Okay, so the next example we have, again, is I used the washi to create a base, and I made shelves for my books. This was a fun layout, actually. I had a lot of fun with this one, but just simple, easy ways. Like I said, I'm not too adventurous with washi. At least I have not been to date. Who knows? That could change. There's no pink in there. Okay, the last example of washi we're going to talk about is in here, and it was a recent layout. where I took the example from Elizabeth over at EJ Joyful Plans, and I did what she calls decorative dating. So I used the washi to create some texture and then redated the planner. This actually was a fun layout to work with too. All right, so next up on the agenda, we are going to be talking about inking and stamping. And I'm pretty sure I only have, no, that's not the right planner. Hold on while I figure out where I'm at here. Oh my God. Oh, ink is green. I was like, what color is it? Inking is green. So I've done inking a little bit more often than I've done washi. And I've used inks to create backgrounds, like in this example where I created sort of a water scene for these turtles. I also used ink. Where is that sticky note? I can see it. There it is. Where I used slight inking in the background to create kind of a sky. So it looked like there, you know, the birds were actually up in the sky and in the clouds. And then my health planner is right here. And I used green. Where are you? There you are. I used it in this layout to create water behind Ariel and up here as well. Okay, so just ink's really versatile, and we're going to cover a couple more things with inking in a second, but I just wanted to show you guys some examples first. And the last one we're going to talk about that I actually have examples for is stationery. A lot of the times I will pull the sticky notes out and use them. This is a sticky note. I'm pretty sure this is a sticky note. I will pull the sticky notes out and use them as boxes, sticker boxes. What do you call them? Functional boxes. That's the word I'm looking for. So I've done that in that one. So this gives you a couple of visual sort of ideas on how you can use different things. Got to make sure I have no more colored sticky notes to show you. And I think that's it. Okay, so next what we're going to do is move those out of the way. And what I've done is I've grabbed an outdated planner page from one of my old planners. And we're going to go through a couple of the other examples. Now, I also have pens and highlighters. So we're going to bring out some highlighters. Let's pull out a green one. Now, if the example I would share, if there's someone you want to follow that's really creative in using highlighters, is Christine at Twinkle Plans Her Day. I will leave her information in the description if you'd like to try and track her down on, she's far more active on Instagram than she is really on YouTube, but she does some really awesome, fun things with mild liners. So I've seen her do examples where she'll just outline the inside of a box like so. She's, you know, far more creative than I am. I'm trying to make this line as straight as possible. She usually just goes for broke, right? And you could also create it where you can make little dashes and dots and create a decorative box that way. You could do the same thing with pens as well. These are all things we used to do a lot when I was scrapbooking. So this stuff I'm very familiar with. And this is a terribly messy example, but there you go. You could also, oops, wrong one. Oh, I want this one down here again. You can also come in and just sort of make, you know, simple things on your lines to create decor that way. What else did I have in mind for this? I think that was it for washi. And of course you can do all of this with pens or colored pencils as well. I don't have my colored pencils handy. I just rearranged my office, so now I'm trying to rack my brain on where they are. Hold on, let me see if I can find them. Okay, I haven't a clue where I put my pencil crayons. I was going for about 15 minutes trying to find the damn things. I can't find them. So All right, let's get this video finished up. So we're going to talk about inks. You're going to pretend that like I've colored in the box with pencil crayons or done something else fancy with pencil crayons. Like you could use a coloring sheet, color it in with pencil crayons, and then cut those out and put them onto your sheet or onto your planner pages. Di actually is covering coloring pages and a few other fun things in her 7 things video. So make sure to go check her out. But we are going to talk about is inking and stamps. Oop, I forgot my stamp cleaner. Hold that thought. I forgot something really important. Okay, I'm back. And I actually remembered to put my mic back on. Yay me. That's winning on a Friday for you. Okay, so I brought out these cute stamps. Probably can't see them very well because of the glare from the ring light, but I thought they were kind of cute. These are old. This one doesn't belong with this set, however, because this doesn't have, I don't know where this came from. Michael's maybe? Not sure. Anyways, this is a Stampin' Up set. This one, I don't know where it came from, but it was cute and it matched it. So, all right, we're gonna pull out some inks. Now, got Distress inks handy here. So let's pull out Salvaged Patina because this is a really pretty color. Now I don't know where my blending brushes are either because unfortunately I have rearranged my office and I don't know where I put things. So what I normally like to do with inks is I will ink the edges of things. Now it can be the edge of your page. It could be the edge of a sticker you're going to lay onto your box. And that's just the edges. If you want to bring more in, you can actually come across. Ooh, this is a wet stamp. Awesome, I love it. Like so. And it gives just a little bit of depth and texture. I wonder. Okay, I managed to locate one blender. This isn't my preferred, but it'll work in a pinch. Because what you can also do is pick up some of the ink on something like this and come in and do what I've done in the past with just create. This is why I don't particularly like this blender all that much, because it is really hard to control the pressure on it. But you can come in across your page like so, creating colored in areas if you'd like, right? The other thing we're going to do is actually stamp. Now I do have a black, there it is. Now, I tend to be a little bit cautious when it comes to using stamping in my planner. I don't like to stamp right on my pages because if I make a screw up, I'm screwed. Pardon the double entendre there. But there's no going back unless you want to cover it up with label paper and stuff. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to end up doing that, I may as well just stamp onto something different. So I usually stamp onto either just regular printer paper, like high quality printer paper, or you can stamp right onto label paper, like sticker paper. So we're just going to ink her up. Looks pretty good. And we're going to lay it down and apply even pressure. Now they got all kinds of fun things these days, like stamp thingamajigs. See, it didn't see. This is why I don't like to stamp completely onto my page. It's not exactly the greatest coverage. I didn't get ink all the way around. Most stamps now, actually, I think the predominant part of the product lines made, they're all acrylic stamps, which is a little bit easier to work with than wooden stamps because you can actually see where you're putting things. And then they have these stamping things where you put the stamp down and the pressure on top of this big acrylic. That's just amazing how much stamping has evolved in the time that I have not been stamping. I have a ton of stamps, but I have not stamped in a while. That is much better. Okay, so then we're just going to clean my stamp. And I have one of those things upstairs, you know, the scrubber, stamp scrubber thingies, but I didn't really want to grab everything. That room's a disaster up there too. I need to organize that room. The stamp scrubber is good because it gets into all the little nook and crannies, whereas this guy not so much, but I can go get it later. Okay, so that's one. I think we're gonna do the little bottles because they're kind of cute. Now there's different types of inks. These are distress inks. I have distress oxide inks as well. There's also alcohol-based inks, which is predominantly, I think, these are more alcohol-based. And there's pigment-based inks. And the difference mainly between alcohol and pigment-based is alcohol dries faster. Pigment-based is better for embossing if you're going to do any embossing, because it holds on to the embossing powder better than alcohol inks. But I have stamped with alcohol inks, like StazOn and stuff. You just got to be quick about it. And actually, a new subscriber to this channel, which is Misty, and that's the Jolly Fat Elf. There's a lot of stamping on her channel. She makes a ton of cards. I've been watching her for years. I kind of fangirled when she came over to join us in this community. I kind of fangirled, I'm not going to lie. Like, oh my gosh, somebody with that big of an audience is coming to check us out over here. I was pretty excited. Like, you have no idea. I have no idea. Although you might, because you may have read the comments, but okay. And then I think I want to do a greeting. Well, in this case, it's not going to be used as a greeting. It's going to be used as a quote in my planner, if I was going to use them in my planner. Where will you fit is the question. I'm hoping we'll put on an angle. You're fabulous. 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 Okay, let's just clean this up. Okay, we're gonna stick these guys all back in their little box. And then I can stamp scrubber them in a bit. Put the cap back on my distress ink. And then we're going to cut these guys out. So this, again, this is why I'm a little bit more on the cautious side, and I don't generally stamp right onto my planner pages, because if I don't get a perfect ink distribution, it's just messy. And it, like with the rubber wooden stamps, it's harder to restamp over them because you can't see where you're placing things. So I would rather just exercise caution and, oops, see that, even that one's smeared. I must have lifted it up on a funny angle, but these are just examples. So I'm really rusty with stamping. I haven't done it in a number of years. Well, other than the occasional thing here and there in my planner, but okay, do. And then let's go grab, oh, our bottles didn't come out all that well. Let's just stick with Our Lady here. And then at this point, I have a couple of options. I can color her in with felts. Let's grab a couple of highlighters here. Not a terrible color. I already have purple out. Let's go with purple and green. Because I could like come in and sort of like outline the bathtub. This is a terrible example. Okay, hold on, I'm getting there. I was worried because I don't want to have anything bleed. And we'll just do this really quickly. Because I forgot, alcohol inks don't usually bleed. Okay, and then I thought I had a blue somewhere. Where's my blue? There's my blue. Let's grab my blue. Because we can use this to like make it so the bubbles have some color. It's a cute stamp set. I totally forgot I had it. It's amazing when you don't look at your stuff for like, I don't know, 15 years. And then you go unpack stuff and you're like, oh, I totally forgot I had this. Yeah. I'll just give these guys a quick. Now, I know a lot of people have Copic markers or Copic markers. I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced, but I do not have any of those, so we're going to improvise. See, cute, cute. and then I would just sticker down on the page. Now, the grading, I might be a little bit more inclined to stamp right on the page, but even that, I'm a little bit cautious in things like that, because if I screw it up, I'm gonna have to cover it up with label paper and start all over again. So like I said earlier, I would rather just stamp onto paper or sticker paper and go that route. Okay, so that's my example for stamping, as just sort of inking and stamping. I just want to make sure I've covered everything. Pens, highlighters. Yeah, we talked about colored pencils. You could also use paint too. I've seen people use paint on their planner pages. My only thing is I don't like the fact that it wets the page and then the page wouldn't lay flat. But I've seen Mary Ellen do some fun things with paint. I've also seen Stephanie at Squared Plans use watercolor creams. Now the watercolor creams intrigue me, to be honest. I may want to venture into that. I think it would be fun. And, you know, she's done some really cool things with them. Okay, I think that's a wrap, you guys. We covered everything. We've got pens and highlighters we talked about, doodles. We talked about stationery or sticky notes. We talked about stamps and inks. We talked about printables in the doodles. And then we talked about paint and colored pencils. That's a wrap. Okay. A little bit of a scattered chit chat today, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing while you're here. We are growing rapidly in this community and it's kind of exciting. And drop us a comment if you're new to the channel, because we love to welcome you to our community. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time. Ciao.